dun, dun. Hey, what's everybody? This is Johnny here, aka the Spilt Ink. This is going to be a very short video. This video is about why my name is the Spilt Ink and how I got the name the Spilt Ink. As it being really late at night and I'm drinking coffee. Why am I drinking coffee so late at night? I have no idea. Well, no, I guess I do. Coffee's awesome and I had some left. And I have nothing else to drink. Nothing else to drink except for awesome coffee. First world problems. Wait, Japan's first world, right? Yeah. Well, yes, I'm here in Japan, Tokyo, Japan. I've been here for 14 years now. 14 years. So if I sound kind of weird while I'm talking and stuff, I really apologize. I speak English and Japanese, so today I've been speaking mostly Japanese, I think. So yeah, if I switch some words around or if my grammar's all weird and stuff, so sue me and I apologize. Okay, so why is my name the Spilt Ink and why is it spelled the way it is? Let's see. It all started a long time ago when I was in, I think, kindergarten or even preschool. Well, for all you kids out there, you know, when you're a little kid, little kid, and you're learning how to write the ABCs in your name and stuff, you get issued a number 2 pencil and a piece of paper. Now, for all you right-handed people, it's pretty easy. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Z, right? But I'm left-handed. Ta-da! I was born left-handed and I'll die left-handed. That's the one thing that's going to be with me my whole entire life. That and hopefully my hair. So anyway, when you're left-handed and you're writing with a number 2 pencil, well, you get lead all over the palm of your hand, right here. All up and down. And the teacher basically tells you to write like this. So you kind of get your hand above, hovering over the alphabet, or over the alphabet of what you're trying to write, right? Only problem is that's really uncomfortable. So I just said, whatever, and I shotgun from left to right, just like that. And I got lead all over my hand, which got all over my clothes, which got all over the furniture at my parents' house, and probably the walls, probably everywhere. I had lead all over the place because I loved to draw even as a kid, of course. And I think one of my mom's most famous quotes was, "This is why we don't have good stuff." I'm almost positive that was, I heard that a million times. And it was all my fault. I'm sorry, Mom. Anyway, so I switched to pens because I didn't like having like the ink, or the lead all over my hand. So when I was about, I think in 3rd or 4th grade, I just started using pens. And that's when we started to use script, like writing like cursive and stuff, right? So in that case there, it was actually easier because it flowed better, and it just seemed more nicer to write with like a pen writing script, right? And I still believe you should always write script with a pen. Pencils just, it just doesn't look right. Okay, so anyways, I started using pens, and of course when you're a kid, use cheap pens or anything you can get your hands on, right? So I think my go-to pen was the Bic, the ones that you can get anywhere. And the problems with Bics and all pens, cheap pens, is that basically when you're using them, especially when they're almost dead, they start gooping up a little bit, and then you get ink on your hands, right? On your palm. Very similar to, well, getting like lead on your palm, right? Same principle, right? But the thing is, the ink will dry up and stuff, and it doesn't get all over the place. However, it does get all over your papers, right? So when you're writing, you would get ink blotches all over your papers, and they would look terrible, like somebody spilled some ink on your paper, right? So I had ink blotches. I think I was infamous for having ink blotches all over my papers. And I was in high school, and I was taking a printing class, and I was trying to think of this teacher's name. Mr. Smith, Mr. Flanda, something like that. But it was like my printing teacher, and we took a test, and I remember him pulling out the paper, and I remember him saying my name and saying like, "See," and he says like something like, "Meyer, all your papers look like you spilled ink all over them. You've got spilled ink all over your papers." And he was not happy, right? And I was kind of embarrassed, but like it was just something I remembered, that I had spilled ink all over my papers. And even today when I use like a cheap pen and stuff, I get like ink blotches all over my papers. So yeah, so anyway, he said that, and that's how the Spilt Ink came to be. That's how I first thought of the Spilt Ink, as having like, you know, ink marks all over my papers, because I was left-handed and I didn't learn how to write being left-handed correctly, because maybe because I got small hands or small arms, I don't know. Or maybe I should do yoga. If I do yoga, maybe I'm too old for yoga. And uh-oh. Jeez, I think an angel just got its wings. Okay. So wow, that was awesome. I'm sure you guys love that. I'm sure my facial expressions were amazing too. Okay, so anyway, that's how the Spilt Ink came to be. And I started when I was in college. I started doing graffiti a bit. I was in San Francisco, and in Detroit, I did a little bit of graffiti too and stuff. And I used to write Detroit, and I used to write the Spilt Ink. No, I didn't write the Spilt Ink. I just wrote Spilt Ink, right? Because I get like I'd always have like cheap like spray paint and ink, would drip and stuff, right? And you get ink all over the place. So I just thought it was kind of a joke. It was a joke for myself or whatever, and it's just something I did. I mostly wrote Detroit, and I probably shouldn't be saying this. Coppers. Maybe there's a cop that's still on the beat and he's like, I'm still looking for this guy, and now I got him. I'm sure all the buildings have been demolished by now. But anyway, so I wrote graffiti, the Spilt Ink and stuff, or Spilt Ink a bit and stuff, and that was just as a joke. And then when I came to Japan, my first job, I always do these characters, right? I always do the styled characters. And if you go to my website, The Spilt Ink, you will see my characters, these black and white characters and stuff. So if you just go to the website, and there'll be a link down there. If you go down to the notes, the show notes or whatever, the YouTube notes, thespiltink.com. And if you go into black and white, I did a lot of black and white work and stuff. And I used to use ballpoint pens to illustrate these characters that I did. I did hundreds of these characters. And when it came to Japan, I stayed at my friend's family's house. My friend Taka, his mother is a professional koto player, and she plays this wooden instrument, which is kind of like a bass guitar, but it's on its side and it's stuff like very deep notes, or deep sound, like don do 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 don do do don do do do. It's got like a very traditional Japanese kind of, I don't want to say twangy sound. That doesn't sound right, but it's basically a traditional Japanese instrument it's wooden. It's got strings, and so she would teach that at her house, and she had a bunch of those, and she had all sorts of like traditional Japanese things, right? Like papers and documents and books and like statues and just all sorts of cool stuff. I mean, tons of cool stuff, and it was awesome to stay there for a while. And anyway, I remember I needed like to write or something like that for a character or something, and I found one of these. And this here is called the Fude pen, or the Fude brush. And this one here is one of the cheap ones, and I like the cheap ones. Cheap is good. Listen, for all you artists or people who are interested in art, don't go out and get anything expensive. Expensive, you don't need it. Cheaper is better. Cheap pens, cheap paper, cheap Fude brushes. Oh, geez. This is why I'm called the Spilt Ink. I spilled ink all over the place. Oof, over there, it's crazy. But this right here is a Fude pen. It's used for Japanese calligraphy. For basically, it's an art form where they have these big sheets of white paper, very beautiful paper. It's beautiful to touch. It smells good. It's amazing paper, and they use these brushes, and they write calligraphy, right? And they write like Japanese kanji, and they write like phrases. They write people's names. They write all sorts of cool stuff, right? And there's a lot of movement to it and stuff, and these brushes are just amazing. And the ink that they use is so black. It's black as sin. I love it, right? So anyway, I found one of these pens, and I started using it, right? And I used a couple of them. This is one that I've been using for a long time. And I just remove the top, and I just buy one of these reusable, or one of these ink cartridges right here, top's reusable. And basically, you squeeze it, and the ink circulates, and it comes down like here, and it's pretty awesome. So it's like basically, traditionally, they'd have like an ink, vitamins, they'd have like an ink, ink jar or whatever, and then they'd dip it and then write it, and dip it and write it, and dip it and write it, and they just write all the kanji and stuff like that. But this one is one of the squeezy ones, which I like. And so anyway, instead of using pens, I upgrade to using the Fude brush. And if you go to the website, which you should do, thespiltink.com, check out my black and white work, because I have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of images what I made with one of these. And the thing is, I have so many notebooks, not notebooks, but sketchbooks. These are just a fraction of the sketchbooks I have. And these are all filled with these black and white images. And I have a ton of them over there. I've got so many of these. And if you want to buy any of the prints, they're on the website. But let me see if I can find a cool one. And anyway, I would make my characters in these books, right? and it'd take a long time, right, to make these, right? And the thing was, here we go, the Spilt Ink right here. This is about as good as any of these. Oh shit! Oh, this one's dangerous. Oof! Oh, they're heavy. Let's see what I got in here. That was kind of cool. This one's kind of cool. Oh, these are dark. Ooh, this is really dark. Okay, here you go. So I'd make something like this, right? Or I would make something like this. And what happened is I would outline it, and I'd create it and stuff, and I'd use the Fude brush. And the thing is, I'd get really close to the end, and see, the thing is, if you squeeze too much, or you squeeze too hard, or just a little bit too much, it will drip. And so I'd get a drip on one of these paintings, blop! I'm like, ah! And I'd either have to block it out, or I'd have to just start over and make something different. And so a lot of my work had spilt ink all over it, and that's really when I decided to start calling myself the Spilt Ink. When I just decided at that point, I am the Spilt Ink. I've been called the Spilt Ink. I've used the term Spilt Ink, so I am the Spilt Ink. So basically, since I came to Japan, which is about 14 years ago, I've been living in Tokyo for 14 years. I've been using the name the Spilt Ink, although I have been the Spilt Ink since high school, technically. Because once that teacher said, your work looks like you spilt ink all over it, that's when I became the Spilt Ink. Or pretty much, once I got a pen in my hand and I got blotches all over my papers, that's when I was the Spilt Ink. Kind of like Batman, when he was a boy, he saw the bats and it scared him in the Batcave. He became Batman on that day. Wow, that's awesome. Wow. Thus, the Spilt Ink. Okay, so yeah, I highly recommend to go down to thespiltink.com and check some of these black and white paintings out. I mean, some of them I've used, some of them I come up with an idea, nothing would ever come of it and stuff, or some of them I did. For example, this one is one of a guy robbing a safe, a bank robber. I came up with this one for the movie Killing Zoe. Have you seen that movie Killing Zoe? Amazing movie. I used to watch movies all the time and come up with ideas for paintings like this. This one's because I hate shots. I really hate shots. Oh, and here's like a picture of Detroit. Here we go, the Renaissance Center. I think it's got a new name. It's probably like SoftBank Center or something, or maybe, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, sick and wrong. I did this for the Sick and Wrong podcast a long time ago. But yeah, that's why I am the Spilt Ink. Oh, and why did I spell it S-P-I-L-T-I-N-K instead of spilled S-P-I-L-L-E-D? All right, kids, don't drink. Actually, don't put anything intoxicating in your body, okay? Because, all right, when I used to do graffiti, when I used to write like Detroit and the Spilt Ink and stuff, I remember I used to get really, 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 really intoxicated. I mean, stupid intoxicated and do it, because we thought it was cool, and which it wasn't. Stay away from this stuff, kids. And anyway, so I was so intoxicated that I spelt S-P-I-L-T-I-N-K, right? And my friend Cody, who was my roommate, he's like, you spelt Spilt Ink with a T. And I was like, oh, yeah, I did, dude. And then that's how, I came up with the spelling of the Spilt Ink, or T-H-E-S-P-I-L-T-I-N-K, Spilt Ink. So yes, it's Spilt Ink because I was so messed up on intoxicants that, I spelled it wrong. So that's how I spelled it, and that's how I kept on spelling it for many, 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 many years. What, 20 years? Has it been over 20? It's been well over 20 years. Oh man, I'm an old man with a baby face and good hair. I'm so stupid. No. So anyway, yeah, that's how I got the name. That's why I spelled it and stuff like that. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, definitely send me an email. I've got an Etsy page. Go to my Etsy page. Go to my Sachi art page. Go to my Redbubble page. No, not RedTube. Don't go to RedTube. Go to Redbubble Art. And all those links are going to be down there in the show notes. I'm available for commissioned work if you will like my style. I've got these guys over here. Ooh, Doug Stanhope, one of my favorite comedians. Doug Stanhope, Bill Burr right here, Pat Dixon right here of the New York City Crime Report. These guys are all amazing comedians. I love comedy. So, if you want anything like that of yourself, your family, if you want anything else and stuff, send me an email. It'll all be down there in the show notes, or go to my website, thespiltink.com, and I will hook you up. Totally. I am very affordable. Do not be intimidated. And cool. Thank you very much for tuning in. And hopefully I'll make another video sometime soon. And Have a great day, have a great week, have a great life, and I'll see you guys soon on the internets. Peace.